Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? This is the Club with the Man 1993, and I'm up here live for a quick live review as we are about a half hour away from the beginning of SmackDown Live tonight. So I want to definitely get this one done out of the way. It's been a busy day for me, so I didn't get to do this as soon as I wanted to, or I didn't get to do my turn alert, which I will do that turn alert from last night tonight after SmackDown 205 Live. But I wanted to at least get this review in before SmackDown Live starts tonight. So let's get this out of the way. Let's go on, guys. Once again, this is my live review for AEW's Fight for the Fallen 2019. It took place this past Saturday at the Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Again, I was not able to watch this live on Saturday because I was out camping this past weekend. So I had to catch up over the past couple days, and I caught up last night. Again, I just, had some other business I had to take care of today, which there'll be some good news definitely to share. At a later time, it's not the right time yet to go completely public about this news that I definitely want to share for the YouTube channel because it may impact it eventually depending on, what happens. So I got to kind of play a trial by error for now. But anyways, overall, this show wasn't bad, Fight for the Fallen. It did have some things that, was set up some angles for, towards, later on down the line, as, of course, the next AEW show is going to be All Out on August 31st, 2019 in Chicago, Illinois, which, of course, is CM Punk going to show up there. That's one of the only nights I may open up my expectations a little more for him to come. Because if he doesn't show up that night, then, once again, I will be absolutely, okay, back to being completely satisfied as CM Punk is not coming back. This is the only night I will open up my hopes a little bit. But this show is still good. But overall, I'd say of the 3 AEW shows we've seen so far, this one's probably the weakest, in my opinion. Not that it was bad. It's just, I think the biggest problem I felt with this show is that it was just a bit too long. Like, this show is almost as long as Double or Nothing. Like, Double or Nothing was like 3 hours and 50 minutes. This one was about like 3.5 hours. I feel like maybe they could have shaved off like a half hour, an hour. Well, part of this was a little bit longer because also the segment at the end, because this show is actually a fundraiser towards, I think it was Jacksonville gun violence or something like that, which was a good cause for sure. But I felt like we're just a fundraiser, like B show. I felt like it was just a tad too long. And I think some of the matches got extended a little bit too long than it really needed to be. So I think that kind of hurt my grade a little bit for the show, but it was still not a bad show. But of all the AEW pay-per-views we've seen so far, this one was probably the weakest. But it did set for some stuff for All Out in August, which I will definitely be watching that with some friends, definitely, and we'll be doing a live review for that later this year, of course, next month. So anyways, let's first in the live chat, we've got Robbie saying Shawn Spears, aka the chairman. I love it. Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about Shawn Spears in the opening match. I agree. I was surprised Fight for the Fallen was almost 4 hours long. Still a good fun show, but it was the weakest of the AEW events. Hashtag I have to beat the Hangman. I have to beat the Hangman. I demand a thank you. Jericho is just a freaking God on the microphone as always. But yeah, same for joining me live, Robbie. I'm going to kind of fly through this review a little bit because again, my SmackDown, not my SmackDown. SmackDown starts in about 25 minutes. So I definitely want to be able to catch that at the beginning live and see what we got at the beginning of the Eric Bischoff era. So again, we'll get through the show pretty quickly. Again, I did not watch the pre-show. I can't really talk about those matches other than the results were Sonny Kiss defeated Peter Avalon. Britt Baker and Rio defeated Bea Presley and Shoko Nakajima defeated Britt Baker and Rio, which apparently Britt Baker may have suffered a concussion, which sucks. So those are the 2 pre-show matches. The main card opened up with the 6-man tag match. The babyface team of Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin, who I really got interested in with the match he had against Cody Rhodes back at Fyter Fest, and Joey Janela, the guy who knows like Extreme, who faced Jon Moxley, and even though you can't count that match as Moxley's in-ring debut because it was non-sanctioned, it wasn't actually a part of the show. but he still put on a great performance for sure. But we had that, and then we had that match. They took on the heel team of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I finally got his name right. MJF cut another great promo. Again, this guy is what EC3 should be, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a heel Miz, basically, as well as he's definitely going to be a main eventer, AEW World Champ someday. I agree. Sammy Guevara, who I thought had a good showing as well, definitely a good mid-card wrestler, and Shawn Spears, formerly known, of course, as Ty Dillinger. And this was a pretty good opening match. It was fun. I really liked also how, the heel team was kind of trying to, outdo each other, basically. They were not on the same page this entire match as the baby faces were. And I thought that was very interesting as well. Of course, knowing also that MJF and Cody Rhodes are good friends, but Shawn Spears is going after Cody Rhodes right now because the storyline of how Cody Rhodes claimed that Shawn Spears is not a is just a utility player and not a main eventer. And literally he went out of his way to literally, make a statement by hitting Cody Rhodes with that vicious, unprotected chair shot he hit him with at Fyter Fest. But Shawn Spears, I saw stole the show again. I want to be introduced as the chairman. He had one of the biggest sadistic looks on his face. He looked dangerous. He looked scary, like someone that could literally be taken seriously as definitely catching the eyes. There was, of course, some great moments, involved in this match with the offense as well. But of course, the interesting part was the winning pin, of course, was the heel team. But the guy who got the winning pin, Shawn Spears. And who did he pin? Darby Allin. The man that Cody Rhodes could not beat because the time limit ran up. So very good storytelling there for sure. Giving Shawn Spears that rub in the heel heat as he gets ready to go up against Cody Rhodes at Fight for the Fallen. Not Fight for the Fallen. All Out. I'm wondering if that will have a stipulation to it, maybe like an all holds barred match or maybe like Extreme Rules or something. Since of course that chair shot was involved, as I'm pretty sure Cody would want to get his revenge from that chair shot for sure on Spears. But again, Shawn Spears definitely looked like a big buck megastar for sure in this match. MJF looked great, Sammy looked great, the babyface team with Janela, I liked what they had to show. But again, Shawn Spears I thought was the true all-star of this match, really breaking out and just showing what he's really made of. Again, with that like heel sadistic side of him, like this obsession he had of wanting to maybe how he wanted to be acknowledged and whatnot. It really interests me for sure. And I thought the Perfect 10 gimmick was hot. This gimmick right here, of course, he's presented with maybe even better. And I look forward definitely to see what happens with him and Cody Rhodes for All Out. So we had that match. The second match we had was a women's match. Brandi Rhodes taking on Allie. I like the promos they had before this about how Brandi Rhodes may not be as experienced in wrestling, but basically one of the people who when she was training and learning how to do it, she was doing great. But once it came to the competition, she's cracked. But then of course she's still playing like that heel, corporate figure as she is, and I think she's played a good job at that. This match still was all right. I don't know. This felt like like a typical women's match you see on Raw or something like that. Like just just an average match that just to put over Brandi Rhodes as like Allie. I mean, yes, she's good looking, but I don't really see too much in her yet. I mean, I don't really know her that well. But also this establishes that, Brandi Rhodes isn't going, the route, just to work hard to definitely earn respect from the fans. She wants to be just a corporate cheater who tries to, get everything her way, which that's fine. But she now has a muscle in her in Awesome Kong, who is out there at ringside with her. Eventually, Brandi Rhodes does defeat Allie, with some help from Awesome Kong providing distractions. But after the match, Brandi Rhodes and Awesome Kong go into attack Allie. But then music hits and out comes Aja Kong. She comes down, scares away Brandi Rhodes, and Awesome Kong and her have a stare down. And then, of course, Awesome Kong and Brandi, go like walk away. Well, I'm sorry, they didn't walk away. They were kind of teasing a blow between Kong and Kong, but then they stopped them from doing so. So I guess going to set up a match with Awesome Kong and Aja Kong. I mean, of course, I've heard of Awesome Kong, formerly Karma, but I've never heard of Aja Kong before. Of course, they're both big women, as I definitely think that would be an interesting match to have for All Out if they go out with it. They go all out with it. Get the pun there, guys. But so I'm interested to see where that goes for sure. Again, as I've heard of Awesome Kong. I don't know too much about her. Don't really know much about Aja Kong. I look forward to see what they can put on though at All Out next month. So go ahead and set up that. And probably the weakest match in the card, I thought, with this match with Brandy and Allie. More so because Allie just seems a little mad to me. Again, she's cute, but just a little mad, I feel. But I definitely am interested to see where they go with Brandy. So we have that match there. Then we have a match, a triple threat match. It was the Dark Order's Evil Uno and Stu Grayson taking on Angelico and Jack Evans, and the team that I've been told to definitely keep an eye out for, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And the winner of this match gets a first round bye in the AEW Tag Title Tournament. Good match, I gotta say. The heels won in Dark Order, who obviously, why would why wouldn't you want to give, a heel tag team that they're going to be pushing like the Dark Order the bye? Because you want to, again, with the beginning of a wrestling brand, of any type of brand, you want to establish someone that's a team to beat. And I guess, the Dark Order is definitely an obstacle to, really, give the baby faces something to go after. Although Dark Order won, though, I think this definitely was a showcase for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, especially Luchasaurus. He was a monster in there, putting on a good showing again, just doing kind of like, kind of the same feel I had during the Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee match months ago in NXT. Like this big man doing some crazy things that, you wouldn't think to see, a guy his size really doing. Those two definitely have some good chemistry working together, and I think someday we can definitely see them being AEW tag champs. And we do have, of course, the Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros, and of course, so-called Uncensored, and all of them, still a couple coming also. But Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus definitely interest me for sure, as a lot of people have definitely been, pointing them over and telling me to keep my eye out for them. So I definitely gotta give them the rub. For sure as well. But yeah, definitely a good match there. Again, I know Dark Order won. Again, I felt Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, I felt, were definitely the stars of that match. So we've done 1, 2, 3 matches so far. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do one more, and then we'll check the live chat. We have Hangman Adam Page taking on Kip Sabian. Of course, Hangman Adam Page got the win. Obviously, it's just a good match. Gave both him and Kip Sabian time. Who obviously also has some potential as well to put over Hangman Adam Page as he's getting ready to fight Chris Jericho for the AEW World Title at All Out in the main event. Obviously, though, this match is still showing that Hangman Adam Page needs a little bit of work, I'd say, before he definitely wins the world title. I'm definitely starting to agree with a lot of people thinking that Chris Jericho is probably going to be the one to win that world title first. He's probably, besides Kenny Omega, probably the next biggest name in this company for sure. And if they want to start it off right, you got to establish a man to beat for that world title. And I think, Chris Jericho probably is going to win it first, and then give Hangman Page some time or Hangman Adam Page. Can't remember which way it's either Hangman Adam Page or Adam Hangman Page. Give him time before, he properly gets built up and feels like a proper main eventer. But, still not a bad opponent. Definitely wrestle for something fresh in the AEW World Title match. I mean, I wonder eventually if we'll see maybe a triple threat with Jericho, Moxley, and Omega, which I think would be pretty awesome. Which, by the way, Moxley was not on this show tonight. Well, was not on the show on Saturday night. But I definitely think Chris Jericho is probably going to be winning the AEW World Title first, I feel. So yeah, Hangman Page wins. And a good match, but nothing really too special that I'm going to remember from it. Afterwards, though, we see a masked figure. Looks like he's dressed from the Dark Order, comes out and attacks Adam Hangman Page until the guy takes off the mask and it's revealed to be Chris Jericho. Coming out, of course, starting to play the mind games and, saying, "Hey, Hangman, I'm watching them. I got to beat the Hangman. I got to beat the Hangman." We'll get that segment later on, as he was advertised, of course, before this to definitely be appearing and, address Adam Hangman Page for their match at All Out. So we had that match. Check the live chat again really fast. Let me see what we got here. Mike Ruggiero presents My SmackDown. Oh, man. If it was My SmackDown, I'll tell you, boys, that was going to be written. Imagine Finn Balor signs with AEW and returns as Prince Devitt. Imagine the match you could have with Darby Allin. Ooh. Prince Devitt or like a Demon caliber type Finn Balor versus Darby Allin. Or like, even though, Bray Wyatt's probably staying WWE. Bray Wyatt and Darby Allin has a ring to it. Like, there's other people in WWE. Maybe like Aleister Black and Darby Allin. The characters and whatnot, the dark sides and whatnot. I definitely like to see them collide. Yes, definitely good idea, Robbie. No Holds Barred should be saved for Omega and Moxley, probably. Cody and Spears being falls count anywhere. Works for me, too. I take that. Did you notice how slow and calculated Spears now walks when he makes his entrance? Total 360 for his WWE NXT Perfect 10 gimmick. That is true. He's slow. He takes his good old time for sure. And it really adds to the mystique of him for sure. Again, I definitely just see just like this darker side of him that really intrigues me and whatnot. And it feels like, it's legitimate. And yeah, it interests me for sure. Mauro Montez Ford during his Raw debut made that play on Paul Heyman's name. Hey, man! Yeah. Hey, man, what's up? Do you think AEW is breeding Adam Page as their top guy and inaugural world champion, or Chris Jericho win the title as further solidification of his legendary status? I think maybe Jericho, I said before, I think Jericho will probably be the first one to win the title to cement his legendary status and to, really give some prestige in that right away and make whoever wins it first off of him to make it, a legitimate challenge, as I said before. Imagine if Jericho wins the AEW World title and declares himself the absolute best in the world, and then cult of personality blasts through the arena. That would be epic. Man, it would be awesome. Again, they just want to finish business. What if they do have him once again go, "Hit me the head, Punk! Hit me the head, Punk! Your father's a drunk, Punk! Your father's a drunk!" Bringing back those memories again. That match at Mania 28, even their Chicago street fight at Extreme Rules 2012 was awesome too. But again, just him being that dick troll healed up Punk was just amazing. As I always like to put it over. But yeah, definitely, I would love that. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Darby Allin in a body bag match. Ooh, I'd like to see that for sure. And what's up, Dakota? Haven't seen it for a while. Saying if Jericho wins first, then WWE guy was AEW's champion first. That is true, definitely. But he's making a statement, so I'd be all right with that. But you got burp. Thank you for coming live chat, guys. Let's keep moving on here. Getting 10 minutes of SmackDown. So yeah, we have so-called uncensored Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky taking on the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix. That was a good match. Again, Lucha Bros definitely have already been well established around the world, and around the world there with the AAA tag titles, and of course, so-called uncensored definitely interests me as well with their gimmick as well. Again, nothing really too special about it. Just a good match. I feel like you probably see just on like a regular TV episode or something like that. But it was still good as expected. So-called uncensored. Lucha Bros win by having Pentagon Junior pin Sky to get the victory. But afterwards, both teams fight some more. But this time, the Lucha Bros insert ladders into the beatdown. But then the Lucha Bros pose on the ladders and call themselves the best tag team on the planet. And they challenge the Young Bucks to a ladder match at All Out. Take my money. They had an amazing match. What was it at at Double or Nothing, I believe it was. Amazing stuff there. Yeah, because they had the they had the 6-man with the 6 Lucha Bros and the Elite, Young Bucks and Omega at sorry, I've been talking too much today. At Fight for the Fighter Fest. So like the two in a ladder match, classic tag team match of the year caliber written on there. I guess maybe for the AAA tag titles, I'm not sure, but we'll see. But I definitely am excited for that match as well. For All Out. We then had Kenny Omega take on CIMA, which Kenny Omega won. I thought it was a great, hard-hitting match. It was great, mixing, these two, Kenny Omega, who's been wrestling New Japan for quite a long time, having his Japanese, style experience, taking on CIMA's Japanese style as well. But again, it was a great match. Definitely give, Kenny Omega a victory as he's getting ready for his match against Jon Moxley. Again, I was surprised that Moxley didn't come out again, try to fire another shot at Omega, and they have like a little brawl or something, but didn't happen. But it was still an excellent match. Got to put it over for sure. After that, we had a Chris Jericho promo where he came out. He starts, saying stuff like how he kept begging for a thank you. But of course, he says, you're not even worth begging for a thank you anymore. And it says, shut the hell up and, screw you all, basically. He goes to talk about, the Hangman, how, he's got to beat the Hangman because he's Chris Jericho and whatnot. And he's, one of the greatest of all time and everything. But then, of course, he starts showing off the blood on his fist from Adam, the beatdown with Hangman Adam Page or that night. And then Hangman comes out to get his comeuppance and beat down on Jericho. They're being separated as well. So again, just another way to hype up the match. And then we got our main event, the Young Bucks taking on Cody and Dustin Rhodes. Great match. Kind of long though. I felt like it got hot, but then it stayed on that level. Like it felt like it just like stayed on the same pace for quite a while. You know what I mean? Like it didn't need to be. Like it didn't need to be a 31-minute match. Like 15, 20 minutes, maybe I could see that maybe being that long. But like 31 minutes, however long it was, I think they gave it like a 60-minute time limit, I think. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it being, for too long. But I do like how they had the Rhodes Brothers come together. Two guys, like one legendary family against one of the best tag teams in the world. Again, in the Young Bucks for sure had the respect that everybody showed. They had some fun, playing the mind games and whatnot that they did on each other that I appreciated. So that was great, of course, as well. But again, this is a tad bit too long. And after the match, the Young Bucks apologized for teasing them and put them over as a myth legend of being one of the best tag teams they've ever been in the ring with. And then all of a sudden Kenny Omega comes out with Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Brandy Rhodes, Saad Khan, and a giant check. $150,000 for, again, I believe it was the Jacksonville gun control stuff they were doing. Again, their fundraiser for, just to say they've raised that much money for it. And then Cody Rhodes says, you can't counter program what All Elite Wrestling is doing right now. Shot fired again at WWE right there. But that's how we went off the air. Again, solid show. Gave it a B-. Again, it was nice. It was a fundraiser, but I think, again, the biggest problem I had, I thought it was just a tad bit too long. But it did set up some good stuff, definitely, for All Out. With, again, the ladder match you're going to be getting, the stuff with Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes for sure. And, of course, this the stuff for the main event for the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Championship with Chris Jericho taking on Hangman Adam Page. It definitely should be a fun show. Going to be stacked, going to be classic. It's going to be epic. And I have my hopes set pretty high for that as well. So, guys, that was a quick review of Fight for the Fallen. I gave it a B-. Let's check the live chat before we go off the air. We just have Dakota saying Moxley is opting out of his contract early after 1 year of returning to WWE. He promised Vince he'd return in 1 year. Watch. The thing is, though, I don't know, though. I mean, like, if it happens, I wouldn't be upset about it, but I don't know. Just after what Moxley said in that podcast about having this more creative freedom, like, why would he? I mean, yes, I get, we're moving to the Heyman and Bischoff era. I know Moxley has said he would have liked to have worked with Paul Heyman, but, with this new life he's gone right now, I feel like, why would he go back that soon? I feel like I just 1 year away of just, just doing like what, he wants to do, basically. I feel like that's not enough. So maybe someday he'll go back to WWE, but I just don't see him going back in a year. Just my opinion, though. We'll see. But, guys, yes, I got to check out here. I want to go downstairs and watch SmackDown. What grade would you give Fight for the Fallen, guys? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. And just always to slap a like on my video. Subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Again, I will be back up here tonight for my live reviews of SmackDown Live and 205 Live. And I'll also catch up on the Turn Alert involving Bray Wyatt's return, and if any others happen on SmackDown 205 Live night, I'll make sure to do those then. But until then, guys, I'm checking out. See you all later on tonight. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out, everybody.